In a world where speed is celebrated and waiting is often seen as wasted time, the divine principle of patience stands as a beacon of wisdom, illuminating a path markedly different from the hustle culture surrounding us. This script delves deep into the heart of patience, unraveling its necessity not just as a virtue to be admired from afar, but as a foundational element in the life of every believer. It explores the intricate dance between waiting on God's timing and navigating the challenges of life with grace and faith. Through a series of poignant insights, biblical reflections, and transformative truths, we embark on a journey to uncover the profound implications of embracing patience. From the hidden blessings in delayed dreams to the spiritual growth fostered in the quiet moments of waiting, this narrative is an invitation to reconsider the pace at which we pursue our destinies. It challenges the norms of instant gratification and invites readers into a deeper, more fulfilling relationship with time, faith, and the divine orchestration of our lives. Join us as we explore why patience is indeed a virtue, but more so, a divine directive that unlocks the doors to God's best for us, teaching us to trust, wait, and see the incredible unfold. Patience is essential. In the contemporary landscape, characterized by rapid advancements and a culture of immediate satisfaction, the virtue of patience emerges as a pivotal yet frequently undervalued quality. This dynamic presents a stark contrast to the principles embedded within the Christian faith, where patience is not merely suggested but positioned as a foundational element of spiritual life. The modern ethos of seeking quick fixes and instant results often clashes with the biblical exhortation to wait upon the Lord, underscoring a significant challenge for believers navigating their faith journey amidst societal pressures. The call to embrace patience is rooted in the recognition that God's timeline diverges markedly from human expectations. Unlike the world's push for haste, God's workings are deliberate, unfolding within the parameters of divine wisdom and timing. This discrepancy highlights the essential nature of patience for Christians. It becomes a conduit through which one can align more closely with God's purposes and pacing. Patience in this context transcends mere passivity or a begrudging acceptance of delay. Instead, it embodies a proactive stance of trust and anticipation, acknowledging that God's plans, though not always immediate, are invariably perfect in their timing and outcome. The emphasis on patience serves as a counterbalance to the prevailing culture of instantaneity, offering a reminder that the most profound and lasting developments often require time to mature. By advocating for patience, the message encourages believers to recalibrate their expectations, fostering a deep-seated confidence in God's sovereignty and a willingness to wait with purpose. This perspective not only enriches one's spiritual resilience, but also cultivates a sense of peace and assurance, grounded in the conviction that God is at work in every season of waiting, meticulously crafting outcomes that reflect His love, wisdom, and ultimate best for our lives. Faith and patience interlinked. The symbiotic relationship between faith and patience is a cornerstone of Christian doctrine, revealing how these virtues feed into and reinforce each other. Faith, in its essence, requires believers to trust in the unseen, holding firm to God's promises even in the absence of tangible evidence. Patience complements this trust by enabling believers to endure periods of waiting without losing hope or confidence in God's faithfulness. This interconnection suggests that patience is not merely a byproduct of faith, but an active practice that nurtures and expands one's faith over time. The integration of faith and patience is critical in a believer's spiritual journey, as it teaches the importance of trusting in God's timing and promises. Such trust does not come naturally, especially in a world where delays are often viewed negatively and immediate results are prized above all. Yet in the divine economy, patience is the crucible in which faith is refined and character is shaped. Through the practice of patience, believers learn to relinquish their timelines, embracing instead the perfect timing of God, which, though mysterious, is always aimed at bringing about the greatest good for His children. This transformative process is both profound and practical. As believers exercise patience, their faith is not only tested but strengthened, leading to a deeper, more resilient trust in God. This enhanced faith then feeds back into a greater capacity for patience, creating a virtuous cycle of spiritual growth. Moreover, this deepening of faith and patience cultivates a character that is more aligned with the likeness of Christ, a character that reflects trust, perseverance, and a steadfast reliance on God's promises, irrespective of current circumstances. In essence, the intertwining of faith and patience serves as a dynamic mechanism for spiritual development, one that equips believers to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and confidence. It underscores the belief that God's timing and plans are not only worth waiting for, but are also active ingredients in the believer's journey towards spiritual maturity and fulfillment. Through this lens, patience is seen not as a passive waiting, but as an active engagement with faith, a testament to the believer's trust in God's overarching and benevolent purposes for their life. God's perfect timing. Central to the Christian faith is the unwavering belief in the perfection of God's timing, a concept that stands as a beacon of hope and trust for believers navigating the complexities of life. This principle asserts that every aspect of God's plan for our lives is meticulously orchestrated, unfolding in a timeline that, while often inscrutable to human understanding, is flawlessly aligned with divine wisdom and purpose. The video's message on God's perfect timing serves as a poignant reminder that the discrepancies between our timelines and God's schedule are not indicators of divine neglect, but of a profound orchestration beyond our immediate comprehension. Emphasizing God's sovereignty, the message encourages viewers to adopt a posture of trust, especially when faced with situations that challenge their expectations or desires. It acknowledges the natural human inclination to anticipate and control outcomes, yet it advocates for surrender to God's omniscient guidance, reassuring believers that what may appear as delays or detours at the moment are, in fact, integral steps in the journey toward releasing God's ultimate plan for their lives. This trust in God's perfect timing does not negate the reality of frustration or disappointment that may arise when life unfolds contrary to our wishes. Instead, it invites believers to see beyond the immediacy of their circumstances, fostering a deeper faith that recognizes divine timing as an expression of God's love and care. It suggests that the moments of waiting, far from being wasted time, are opportunities for growth, reflection, and preparation for what is to come. Moreover, the concept of God's perfect timing is a call to patience and perseverance. It challenges believers to maintain their faith even in the absence of visible progress, trusting that God's plans are moving forward in ways that might not yet be apparent. This perspective is crucial for sustaining spiritual vitality, as it assures us that God's timing in its perfection is always worth the wait. In essence, the emphasis on God's perfect timing is a profound declaration of faith in God's goodness and sovereignty. It reassures believers that every moment of their lives is held within the compassionate and capable hands of God, who orchestrates each event and season with precision and purpose. Trusting in this divine timing allows believers to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and peace, secure in the knowledge that God's plans for them are unfolding exactly as they should, in perfect harmony with His will. Spiritual growth during waiting. The narrative of spiritual growth during periods of waiting offers a transformative perspective on what many may consider idle or challenging times. This viewpoint reframes waiting not as mere inactivity or delay, but as a fertile ground for profound spiritual development and intimacy with God. The message emphasizes that these waiting periods are divinely appointed seasons, deliberately woven into the fabric of our spiritual journey, designed to deepen our faith, mold our character, and impart invaluable lessons that can only be learned through the experience of waiting. During these times, believers are invited to explore the depths of their relationship with God, discovering new dimensions of His nature and the richness of His presence. It's a period where the noise and distractions of immediate gratifications are replaced with a quiet confidence in God's promises. This intentional shift from outward circumstances to inward reflection allows for a genuine refinement of character, stripping away impatience and nurturing virtues such as perseverance, resilience, and trust. Moreover, waiting becomes a classroom in which life's most enduring lessons are taught. Through the trials and uncertainties of waiting, believers learn to relinquish control, surrendering their plans and timelines to God's superior wisdom. This surrender is not passive, but an active trust that God is at work, shaping our lives even when His handiwork is not immediately visible. The lessons learned in this season equip believers with a deeper understanding of God's sovereignty and goodness, fortifying their faith against future challenges. Spiritual growth during waiting also involves the cultivation of a deeper prayer life and engagement with Scripture, practices that draw believers closer to the heart of God. As they seek God's guidance and lean on His promises, they find that waiting times are rich with purpose, offering a unique opportunity to experience God's grace and provision in new ways. In essence, the emphasis on spiritual growth during waiting challenges the common narrative of waiting as time is lost. Instead, it presents waiting as an essential component of the spiritual journey, a time rich with potential for growth, learning, and deeper communion with God. Through these seasons, believers emerge stronger, more grounded in their faith, and more aligned with God's will, ready to step into the fulfillment of His promises with a character that reflects His image more fully. Consequences of impatience. The discourse on patience within the Christian journey illuminates not only the virtues of waiting, but also maps the terrain of pitfalls associated with impatience. This exploration unravels the multifaceted repercussions that sprout from the soil of haste and premature actions. Impatience, often a reflex to circumvent the perceived stagnation of waiting, can inadvertently usher in a cascade of undesired outcomes, each eroding the fabric of spiritual and communal life. At the forefront, impatience jeopardizes the harvest of opportunities divinely set in our path. The impulsive need to accelerate processes or force fruition on our timeline can blind us to the nuanced orchestrations of God, where every delay is purposeful and every timing is precise. Such missed opportunities are not merely paths untaken, but are potential milestones of growth, learning, and blessing that remain unrealized. Beyond the tangible losses, impatience stirs a tempest of emotional turmoil. It breeds frustration, anxiety, and discontent, emotions that cloud judgment and peace. This inner unrest is antithetical to the tranquility and assurance faith aims to instill. As impatience agitates the spirit, it detracts from the serenity that comes with trust in God's perfect timing, thereby disquieting the soul's communion with peace. Moreover, the ripple effect of impatience weakens faith, a cornerstone of the Christian walk. Faith thrives on trust and patience, believing in the unseen and waiting on the Lord's promises. Impatience, however, signals a fracture in this trust, suggesting a readiness to question or bypass divine wisdom for immediate relief or outcomes. This weakening of faith not only dims the individual's spiritual luminescence, but can also lead to a disillusioned spiritual journey where the assurance in God's sovereignty is shadowed by the immediacy of personal desires. Perhaps most critically, impatience strains relationships with God and others. With God, impatience acts as a barrier to deeper intimacy, as it reflects a heart not fully surrendered to His will and timing. This impasse can mute the dialogue of prayer, hinder spiritual receptivity, and diminish the richness of divine fellowship. Similarly, impatience in relationships with others can lead to conflict, misunderstanding, and distance. The haste to press forward without grace or understanding fractures the unity and love that are hallmarks of the Christian community. In essence, the consequences of impatience are far-reaching, affecting every dimension of a believer's life. The call to patience is thus not merely an invitation to wait, but a directive to trust deeply in God's plan, embrace His timing, and cultivate a faith that stands firm against the currents of haste and immediacy. Within this framework of patience, believers find the true essence of spiritual growth, peace, and fulfillment as they align more closely with the heart and timing of God.